Want to help the channel? Go to shopclownfish.com where you can check out official Clownfish TV merchandise in our brand new shop. It helps us out. Also, check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/clownfishtv for more art and gaming live streams that we don't do on YouTube. We want to see you over there as well. Now let's get into the video. Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. We're going to talk about the Ghost of Tsushima. Blowing up. It's blowing up. It's selling very, very well. It is the best-selling original title for the PS4. It's selling out in Japan. And this is despite all of the pushback from even Western journalists, from folks in China who feel that the game is negatively portraying Mongols. They don't like that. And there are Western journalists who have accused this game of being kind of racisty, of being kind of fascisty, that it promotes Japanese fascism. Despite being developed by a Western studio, the Japanese absolutely love this game. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about whether or not long-term it could potentially beat The Last of Us Part 2. Ghost of Tsushima sets PS4 sales record with 2.4 million copies in 3 days. This is coming from Games Radar. Ghost of Tsushima has sold 2.4 million copies in the first 3 days, making it the fastest selling original game for Sony on the PS4 this generation. Original game. We gotta talk about that. The PlayStation Twitter confirmed these sales numbers early today. That would have been yesterday. You may remember that this is quite a bit less than the likes of The Last of Us 2, which sold 4 million copies in the first weekend. That's where the original qualifier comes into play. The only first-party PS4 games that have sold more than 2.4 million copies within their first 3 days are all sequels or reboots. Ghost of Tsushima is a brand new IP, which puts it in a class on its own. Rather than The Last of Us 2, it would be competing with the likes of Horizon Zero Dawn, which sold around 2.6 million copies in 2 weeks. In other words, Ghost of Tsushima is doing gangbusters for what it is. And what it is, as they said in their review, is a worthy swan song for the PS4. It's gorgeous and engrossing. It's also the last big PS4 game that we know of. Let's forget, it was also released on the heels of a global quarantine, which has left many people looking for things to do. Now, it's beating Mario in Japan, and it's selling out. The Japanese love this game. I think this game is going to have legs compared to The Last of Us Part 2, which did very well at the beginning, and then once the word of mouth got around that the game basically destroyed characters from the first game, the sales dropped off a cliff. The second week in Japan, Last of Us Part 2 dropped 85%. So we'll see long-term how Ghost of Tsushima does compared to The Last of Us Part 2. But it is beating Paper Mario. Japanese charts coming from Nintendo Life. Paper Mario loses out to Ghost of Tsushima on debut. Famitsu's Japanese charts are now in for the 13th through the 19th of July, and Nintendo's latest Switch release, Paper Mario, The Origami King, has made its debut in second place, surpassing 100,000 sales. The PlayStation exclusive Ghost of Tsushima has taken out the top spot in its first week. Animal Crossing New Horizons has jumped up to third. Ring Fit Adventure is underneath it, and Konami's baseball titles have dropped down to 5th and 6th place. Where's The Last of Us Part 2? It's on the list. Underneath them sits Clubhouse Games, 51 Worldwide Classics, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Pokemon Sword and Shield, and the other new entry this week together, the Battle Cats. Here are the top 10. Ghost of Tsushima. Very, very good. Yeah, I'm surprised it beat Paper Mario. Oh my god. But Last of Us Part 2 is not on this list at all, is it? It isn't. I think it's done. I think it's done in Japan. I think Japan is over it. However, I think Ghost of Tsushima might actually perform long term because the Japanese love it so much. There's going to be a stock shortage of it. PlayStation Japan warns of Ghost of Tsushima stock shortage. Sucker Punch Productions exclusive has surpassed expectations in Japan. Sony advises customers to purchase the digital version. Buy digital because it's selling out in stores. A tweet from the official PlayStation Japan account said that Sucker Punch Productions' exclusive title has exceeded Sony's expectations in terms of its popularity, Enough stores have run out of stock that PlayStation Japan is advising interested customers to purchase the downloaded version instead. Purchase the download or wait for more physical copies to be manufactured. Ghost of Tsushima has been very well received by critics in Japan. Indeed, as Push Square reported, it is only the third game made by a Western studio to receive a perfect score from Famitsu. The other two are Skyrim and Grand Theft Auto 5. It actually surprises me. Skyrim doesn't surprise me because I know the Japanese love RPGs, but Grand Theft Auto 5 surprises me. That puts Sucker Punch's game in distinguished company. It's also the first original IP from a Western studio to achieve a perfect 40 in Famitsu. There's been no official word yet on Ghost of Tsushima's sales. We have those. They're very, very good. Again, multiple sites talking about the shortage of the game. So, what does this tell us? Well, it tells us what Japan likes and what they don't like, right? It also tells people that they shouldn't listen to game journos, because game journos were trying to, again, I mean, it wasn't as overt as like the media journos trying to destroy Joker before it came out, but there was a lot of low-key shade being thrown at this game. You know, there really was. They're like, oh, it's portraying Mongols in a negative light, and it's making Japan look like heroes, and it's Japanese fascism. We actually had journalists calling it a fascist game, that it was appealing to Japanese nationalism and all of that. Yet it was produced by a Western studio, and it did really, really well. I think long term it probably will outsell The Last of Us Part 2. I don't even know what the sales are like for The Last of Us Part 2 in Japan. Let's see, its opening week in Japan, it sold 178,000 units, compared to the Ghost of Tsushima, which sold 212,000 units. So, yeah, and then it dropped off a cliff, 85% drop in the second week. We'll see if Ghost of Tsushima stays in the top spot. I think it will. I mean, they're already talking that there's going to be a shortage of this game, so very impressive. Very impressive for a Western studio to pull these kinds of numbers, I think overseas. So I went out to Destructoid, which is still a thing, I'm surprised. And it's weird, you know, maybe somebody could tell me what's going on here, but Destructoid, like, you can start your own gaming blog on Destructoid. Do they not pay for content anymore? What's going on? I have no idea what's going on. But people in the comments that the Ghost of Tsushima is better than The Last of Us. Different genres. You can't compare them. So everybody's fighting over The Last of Us Part 2 versus Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, and then G4 is coming back. You want to talk about gaming sites or gaming media. Talk about gaming media that's kind of a zombie right now. G4 is coming back, I guess. I don't know what they're going to do, but very weird that it looks like Destructoid is like crowdsourcing content at this point. So I don't know what's going on. I'm going to wrap this one up, though. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later. Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.